Welcome back to Ellie Scrubs In. Today we're covering one of the most useful topics for anyone new to surgery: who's who in the operating room, where they usually stand, and what they actually do. If you have never been in an OR before, it can feel like stepping into a world where everyone already knows the rules except you. But once you understand the layout of the room and the roles of the people in it, the whole space becomes a lot less intimidating. Before we talk about who's who in the operating room, it helps to understand what the operating room used to be, because the modern OR did not start out as the quiet, tightly controlled environment we think of today. It evolved there. Let's start with the old operating theaters, and the word theater is not a metaphor. Early surgical spaces were designed like amphitheaters, with the patient and surgeon down below and rows of students and observers rising up around them. Surgery was treatment, but it was also public teaching and live demonstration. The room was built for visibility. The audience mattered. Observation was part of the design. Then medicine began to change. As surgeons gained a better understanding of infection and the importance of antisepsis, the emphasis started to shift away from spectacle and toward control. Over time, surgery moved into cleaner, more deliberate spaces, where the environment itself mattered more. Today's OR is built around asepsis, patient monitoring, controlled traffic, sterile technique, and team coordination. The goal is to create the safest environment possible for the patient. Let's start with the easiest way to read the room: geography. In most operating rooms, anesthesia is at the head of the bed, because that is where they need access to the airway, medications, monitors, and the patient's physiology throughout the case. The surgeon and assistant usually work on opposite sides of the patient so they can operate together and maintain exposure. In many common setups, one may be on the patient's right and the other on the left, but that is not a fixed rule. The scrub person stays with the sterile field, close to the instruments and positioned to pass what is needed efficiently. The circulating nurse stays outside the sterile field and moves through the room, helping keep the case organized and safe. The attending surgeon is the person leading the operation. This is the surgeon with ultimate responsibility for the procedure and for the surgical plan. They direct the case, make the key operative decisions, and perform the critical portions of the operation. When most people picture the surgeon, this is who they mean. Across from the attending, or beside them, depending on the setup, is the assistant. That may be a resident, fellow, another surgeon, a physician assistant, or another qualified first assistant. Their job is not to stand there and watch. They help with exposure, hold retractors, suction, control bleeding, assist with dissection, and keep the field open and efficient. A strong assistant can make a case look smooth and effortless because they are constantly helping the surgeon see and work better. When medical students scrub into a case, this is usually where they fit in. Not as core operating room staff, and not as the primary assistant, but as supervised learners and extra sterile hands. Once scrubbed in, they usually stand where the team wants them, often where they can help without blocking the surgeon, assistant, or scrub person. In many cases, that means retracting, suctioning, cutting sutures, holding the camera in laparoscopic surgery, or helping with simple closure if the attending allows it. The goal is to stay sterile, pay attention, follow directions quickly, and learn the anatomy and flow of the operation in real time. The scrub person is the person working inside the sterile field with the instruments and supplies. Depending on the hospital, this may be a scrub nurse or a surgical technologist. This is the person passing instruments, organizing the sterile field, managing sutures and supplies, and anticipating what the surgeon will need next. When the scrub person is experienced, the case develops a rhythm. The right instrument appears at the right time, and everything moves faster because someone is already thinking 1 or 2 steps ahead. Outside the sterile field is the circulating nurse. Do not mistake that for a smaller role. The circulator helps manage the room itself. They document key events, obtain extra supplies or equipment, help coordinate counts and specimens, maintain room flow and traffic control, and keep an eye on patient safety from the broader room perspective. If the scrub person anchors the sterile field, the circulating nurse often anchors everything around it. Then there is anesthesia. Anesthesia has a completely different mission from the surgical team, but it is just as critical. While the surgeon is focused on the operation, Anesthesia is focused on the patient's physiology. They manage sedation or general anesthesia, airway control, ventilation, oxygenation, blood pressure, fluids, medications, and rapid response to physiologic changes during the case. That is why they stay at the head of the bed. Their field is not the incision. Their field is the patient. You may also see other people in the room, depending on the case. Imaging staff may come in for intraoperative imaging. Device representatives may be present for specialized implants or equipment. In more specialized cases, you may also see perfusionists, neuromonitoring staff, or additional assistants. So even though the room can look crowded, not everyone has the same role, the same sterile status, or the same responsibilities. There is also one major variation worth mentioning: robotic surgery. In robotic cases, the surgeon may not be standing directly at the patient's bedside at all. Instead, the surgeon often sits at a console away from the field and controls the robotic instruments from there. That does not mean the robot is operating on its own. The surgeon is still fully in control of the operation. At the bedside, another team member, often a bedside assistant, helps with instrument exchange, suction, retraction, stapling, troubleshooting, and anything else that still requires hands at the table. So, the layout looks different, but the principle is exactly the same. It is still surgeon-led, and it is still a team operation. And that is really the key takeaway from this whole video. The operating room is not random, and it is not chaos. It is a structured environment where every person has a role, every role has a purpose, and the room only works when the team works together. So, the next time you walk into an OR, do not just stare at the incision. Read the room, notice where people are standing, notice who is sterile and who is not. Notice who is passing instruments, who is documenting, who is managing the airway, and who is solving problems before anyone else even sees them. Once you start seeing that structure, the OR stops feeling mysterious and starts making sense. Thanks for watching Ellie Scrubs In. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.